What's up, guys? Alex here, Nashville.com, with my good buddy, most of you know, Marine veteran, real estate extraordinaire, Mr. Greg Pease.
Excited to be back on here today and really excited about the information we're going to share with veterans and mainly active duty military people today. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Couldn't think of a person to bring in for this, discuss some things that are important to those of you that are PCSing. I know that of events has kind of put a stop hold on things for a little while, and now people are openly moving in.
Going again,
yeah. You'll see. And the biggest is, when we move, at least as a civilian, I move. It's like okay, I'm going from A to point B. When you PCS somewhere, you're going from potentially one side of the country to another. You're from the country to another.
You're uprooting so many area family, and I know a lot of they're going to be well ahead of the bubble, but a lot of E3s, E4s. This is the first time when it, and not only like that, if you moved. Last time you moved, were you in the state of Tennessee, and were you doing? Did you change your? Did you have to essentially uproot and restart your whole family in another place? And
right.
That's
exactly, and that's kind of like that's the difference. It's almost like in the day. Remember the Nintendo reset button? Now you start all that's over. PCSing.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is you have to trust that you get into the area you want to get into, that you're going to buy the house that you want to buy. If you're looking,
all needs got to be met.
Your family that they're being in that, can accommodate schooling, employment. How far is it from where you're stationed? A lot of bits and pieces that go into it. That in a lot of cases we don't think about as individuals.
There's so much going on between. I mean, we got to look at your spouse, your significant other, the whole nother job. The resume is getting rushed up. We're making sure TRICARE years is taken care of. We got to transfer kids schools. We got transcript care of. You have a lot on your plate, and then on top of that. The home purchase, there's, especially if this is your first time buying a home, there's a lot of things you don't know yet, and you need a professional that's going to be in your corner, that's going to proactively be communicating, that's going to be asking you the questions to get you a bubble.
Right. Well, and some of the things I talk about, and you and I talked this offline before we actually recording, think the shot records for the kid. The resumes,
Absolutely.
The tax returns, the W-2,
LES statements,
right? Professional licensing, anything that you need. Because here's the thing: when Mother PCSO Okinawa, he went 2 weeks without his personal belongings. It's like everything he took with him there, what he could carry buck bag, or what his family couldn't carry, and that was it. Like everything else was stuck in transit because it got. So what do? If you're in a situation you need to enroll the kids in school, but you don't have their shots. You don't have all the little pieces of information that you need. Yes, you can make the calls, but better to be prepared up front. That's what this podcast does. It prepares you.
Absolutely, and big thing working with a big value that I bring in. So obviously, haven't had PCS before. I understand a lot of the stress you're going to be facing. But then the other piece is having a powerful team. Between you got to look at. There's a lot of vendors. You need a realtor when you go to buy a house. You're going to need a mortgage, but you're going to home inspector. You're going to need to hook up your utilities. There's so many vendors and so many aspects that you're going to need, and that's important. That's one thing that I have incorporated part of my process, my systems, and helping veterans specifically in PCS, and is having a whole entire team for them that's accessible to if they so choose.
Right, and that's valuable because obviously moving to a new area, you don't know who's who, what's what.
Absolutely.
And so you have to rely on your boots on the ground. If you're over here and you're packing up your stuff, and you've got someplace you've never been that you're saying, hey, this is what I want. I want three bedroom bath. I want a fenced-in backyard. I want to live on a cul-de-sac. Whatever the case may be, you have to have somebody that can accommodate and at least demonstrate those things, to you. One of the things I know that you've done in the past is you've done videos. People coming in, they were passing from Fort Bragg. They were all fifth guys. And
Absolutely.
You went out and did actual videos and you said, okay, here's what we're looking at. Here's what your neighborhood looks like. Here's what your house looks like. And it's very helpful because you don't have the stress. Hey, you know what? All this person cares about is a paycheck. I get landed. House isn't going to be what I expected.
So, and we actually did that, myself and you. We actually did that for three that were PCSing out here.
Yeah.
And even since then, have even involved we were doing video and have even evolved into doing 100% virtual showing. So
right.
From whatever state you're in, Once we know down what properties can provide for your wants and needs, whether you have horses, dogs, need something fenced in on a cul-de-sac, like you said, absolutely want an HOA, absolutely don't want HOA.
Right,
Once
right.
you narrow that down and find your search, I also have software program run algorithms that actually find your properties properties in your criteria as soon as they hit the market. And then from there, all the way from a distance remotely, I can send you fully interactive virtual tours, because you can think, again, you have all this going on, all these things you're looking to transfer, uproot, and reset your life on. Where are you even time to search for that perfect home?
Right. Well, and the other portion of it is my electric, my gas company, my water company. What school is in my zone for? Where's the nearest grocery store? Where can I pick toilet paper? Because I've done this myself. You move, like, I don't have toilet paper, I don't have towels, I don't have I keep naming these paper products just because COVID and everything else.
Yeah.
But you think of all items you don't have, but you don't think of it until you turn the key on that new one.
And honestly, working with, and again, team, it's all about a team, but working with you, I mean, it's been amazing with some of the software systems that you added value to my clients, and you have a program then that even pulls it up for them, don't
Right.
you?
It'll show the apps. It'll show them, hey, you have a Starbucks this far from your house. You have a grocery store this far from all those things. If you get someone that we had people come from Bragg's, what 8-10 hour drive.
Yeah.
So you're rolling into town most likely in the middle of the night. And you get to the house, you need a gallon of milk, and they need this, and you need to know where the store
And
is.
eventually you're going to find those things. Of Google right on.
Right.
But having someone in your again proactively communicate before you show up, sending you that list, and hey, here's things they're going to have first day that you're going to need. Here's where to take care of them.
Right. Well, and that's kind of the analogy with that is like nobody goes battle without a battle. So they're not just dropping people in the desert and say, good luck, guys, you're training, you're good to see you later. Here's what we're doing.
I mean, it's an actual, and like you said, I mean, no active duty military to go through that.
Right.
But it is a thing for, there is people PSing, dealing with a lot of unknowns. And we definitely want to make sure that we're part of that team is providing those knowns for them.
Right. And just getting that information together. The biggest thing is it doesn't matter if you're PCS into Fort Campbell, Fort Carson, Fort Bragg, a million other places that could be going to. If you're in a situation where you're like, hey, what important documents should I keep? There's always some value to reach out to one of us. We're here, not just, hey, we're only going to the people here that are going to Campbell or something like that. Like, this isn't a selfish attitude. We're going to try to help everybody, anybody that we can help.
100%. If you're listening in on this podcast and raised questions for you, you do not have to do business with me for me to answer your questions. Definitely reach out, and I'm going to provide the information to make an educated decision.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I love. With dealing with so many people moving to so many different places, sometimes people just have a question and they need a professional to answer it. And then the thing is to rely upon big TV commercials that we see, and we're like, oh, that's the place to go. They're going to give me the answers. In a lot of cases, those are call centers. They're not going to provide you with person-to-person information.
Absolutely.
So it's all value have. It's valuable to have a team on your side, obviously. But most of all, making that transition a smooth one. You have a 45-day window from point A to point B, get set up and report to work. Yeah,
and that's huge as well. Like you said, people that are call centers or agent numbers and press them to and hear recorded messages of where the process is at for their mortgages and things like that. I know as feedback from my clients, they have greatly appreciated being able to text and call you directly and get immediate information on their loan.
Right, and that's part of the service. And the other thing that we don't think about sometimes, a lot of times you'll have people that are active duty that are. I had a client; they were moving to a different home, husband in Afghanistan, and so it's strategically laid out the land of that. Like, we have to help this individual, and this was a wife, get her family together, get everything organized, and get the move made while the husband's over fighting for our freedoms.
Absolutely.
And so it's a very skilled that actually cares about what happens.
Being available, being proactive.
Right. And so it's going in there and doing that. With this particular family, there was some day that the stress level was a little better than others, and you in and you counsel and you talk. You say, hey, here's what's going on. It's okay. Here's what it is. I need that person-to-person just like what you ran with your team. Like, so you can send me a prospection report into my email and allow me to decipher it, or do like what you do and say, all right, let's start on the top and let's work our way down, figure out what's non-negotiable. Let's figure out what it is, and then you pick those items, and then go to battle for them.
Absolutely,
You know,
100% concierge service, and all of our active duty military absolutely deserve that, and so more.
right? Oh, there's no question about it. I mean, men and women that are taking time to, well, I shouldn't even say taking time. Like it happens at a moment's notice. You know, like 82nd when they had to go to sea. My friend, her husband is in the and she up one day and he was just having to pack up and go. Like that happens at a moment's notice. So if you're in the middle of transition and somebody gets aided like that now that it's all on you.
Right.
And you have an interest as the spouse or the significant other person that is serving our country. You have a lot going on. The house is under your order.
Absolutely.
You need communication, for example, and levels of communication vary by the individual. But you need to be overcated to. You need to have someone that says, like you do, the after action report is what I call them, where you step back in and say, hey, today we discussed X, Y, Z. Here's the rundown. Here's what I need from you.
Absolutely.
And so
this thing's important, and it's just an extra second on the on this side of to send out that after action report.
Right.
But from the side of the active duty military, there again, I'm dealing with just that transaction at that moment. Again, they're dealing with transferring, uprooting their whole entire life.
Yeah.
Like, why would I think to make them responsible for everything we talked about in a conversation?
Right. And the thing with you is the relationship lasts after the actual thing. Like I remember as cheesy as can be. But you took to some of our clients the peeps. What'd you think of my peeps or something like
just
that?
Check on my peeps.
Checking on my peeps.
Yeah.
That's what. But it's those long lasting relationships. It's when you go to a area, you don't know anybody. You want to be able to text someone and be like, man, I'm looking for this. Can you tell me where I can go?
Where can I find it? Where can I go? Where's a link? Where's a tool to be able to accomplish that? Absolutely.
Right. So it needs to be removed from that. Hey, thanks for the paycheck. We'll see you.
Absolutely.
To hey, what else can I do for you?
When you show up at the house, it's literally transaction action literally is not over. You just stepped into all your like we talked about all your utilities set up, getting the movers in place, even future vendors. One of the military that we recently worked with, as soon as they got in place, they needed a fence put up.
Mm-hmm.
The dog that they're bringing with them, even connecting vendors and things like that. That's the last thing you need to be dealing with is vet and vendor.
Exactly. Especially for those guys, they're to their new duty station. They just went through all kinds of and schooling and everything. Like they need to be hyper focused on doing their job, because the type of job they do.
Absolutely.
You can't worry about what's going on at home. You need to know how home's taking care of.
100%.
And thing, working with the right team. I said it before, and I'll say again. We're not biased. We're not going to say, hey, no, you're not working with us. You better ask your agent. Just ask questions. Let us do what we can to help you through it. Let us do what we can to help you maybe with the check. Maybe we tell you the things like, hey, buying a house, you need tax returns, W-2s, transfer orders, LES.
Absolutely.
Any information pertaining directly to the financials of your home need to end up in a little lock box next to your truck versus bottom of box, labeled master bedroom. Kids' shot records, resumes, all those important documents need to end up in kind of a fireproof safe near you or in vicinity to where you have access to that.
Access, absolutely.
And that's the thing. That's the message we're trying to carry. What can we do to help make the transition smooth?
Absolutely. Yeah, there being so many things going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. So I wanted to make this one brief. I want to thank everybody for tuning. Most of all, I want to thank you that are listening. That are protecting or have protected our country, that allow us things like this. The simple right to have free speech to say whatever to say whatever it is want to say. I definitely owe this to you, Greg. I know you're a person that served and you served at a high level, and I owe it to you as well. But this together, and at the end of the day, we got your back just like you got ours.
Absolutely, and I appreciate everyone listening. It's a pleasure getting to do what I do and provide service to everybody. There's definitely a special place when serving veterans and active duty military.
Absolutely. So thanks again for tuning in. Again, if you have a question, if there's something we can do to help you, you can email myself at aj@nashville.com or Greg.
You can email me at greg@musiccityexperts.com.
Easy enough. All right. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.